So, I mean, now that we can really put the whole picture together, we can look back in this trade. It was one that a lot of people seriously questioned the Steelers making at the time they made it, just after they lost Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
To trade the first round pick the following year was a super risky play. They end up not making the playoffs even after trading that first round pick and really going for it. But to me, I think this still works out for the Steelers very, very well. Having Fitzpatrick, to me, feels better than any of the options that they had presented to them right there.
Honestly, this proves, and the way this draft has played out, proves the Steelers made the right decision. And I defended it from the jump, even when others were not. Minkah Fitzpatrick filled a need for the Steelers, as well as potentially being the best available in when they would have been drafting anyway this year. He's a young player still on a rookie deal. He's going to be there for years to come. Now, nobody would have predicted he would have had record-setting weeks, and he would have been in Steelers history several weeks in a row with turnovers, and he would have helped them get the record that they got, even though they finished outside the playoff race. However, he's a guy that was not brought in just for last year. That's why some people were freaking out. Why would you make a move to win now when it's about the future when you lose Ben and have him get hurt? You're not going to win a championship now. Anyway, the move to bring in Minkah Fitzpatrick was always about the future. Always it was about the future. And it was this round's pick. The Steelers basically traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick last year as their first-round draft pick here in 2020. They don't have a first-round pick in 2020 this year. However, Minkah Fitzpatrick is a veteran player that's already a Pro Bowl player. He's still very, very young. He comes from the Alabama Nick Saban system, so he came from that proper pedigree. And there's nobody they would have got now, including McKinney, who I would have drafted, that they would have had a better situation with, a better marriage with, and would have been better for them to now win now and help them win now, which is what they want to do next year, than Minkah Fitzpatrick. So this situation should put that all to bed. The Steelers actually made a very smart trade that pegged into this draft perfectly.
I would agree 100%. And the thing with Minkah Fitzpatrick is, he came in and made an immediate impact. He had 8 combined takeaways in 2019. The Steelers are the third best pass defense in the league, and they led the league in turnovers as well, in takeaways. Also led the league in sacks, a big part of the coverage as well in the back end. So he came in and made an immediate impact. And the other thing, too, you got to take into account, if you were the Steelers and you never got Minkah Fitzpatrick, I think the absolutely number one thing they would be looking for right now would have been a safety.
Right.
And I think what we have seen over years with the Steelers is they don't have a very good track record of drafting defensive backs and developing them into legitimate players, into starters, into contributors, into Pro Bowl type caliber players. They haven't shown the ability to do that, mainly with corners, but with safety as well. So the fact is, you make the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, you get a guy who's already a stud,
you get a guy who's already developed.
Yep. It already developed and come in and play and make an impact day one. That's exactly what we saw in 2019 from Minkah, and what we'll see from years to come from Minkah Fitzpatrick as well. So I agree with you, Mike, and with you as well, Alan. I mean, what the Dolphins did with the 18th overall pick clearly shows that I think the Steelers made the right decision. And people did think it was a knee-jerk reaction there last year. It isn't. This is a pick for the long haul. This is turning this defense into one of the best units in the NFL. It's put them over the top. Right. And I think it was absolutely the right decision at the time and now that you traded the 18th overall pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick, because he's better than anything you could have gotten right now in 2020.